All righty, everybody. My name's Chandler Wilson. I'm a product marketer here at Salesforce, and my clicker works most of the time. So kick this off. I'd like you to think about a time you had a really great customer experience. It probably didn't come from a flashy ad, right? It came from something that worked exactly how and when you expected it and needed it to. And that's the kind of experience that customers are expecting today, right? And that's what we're going to kind of get into. But before we do that, I must say, please make all your purchasing decisions based on products and services that are available today. And lastly, thank you. You could have been anywhere here at Connections. I know there's a packed agenda, but you chose to be here, so thank you for that. Let's get started. So the role in marketing right now, specifically in tech, it's evolving fast. Retention is becoming a central lever for growth, especially in tech. And with tighter budgets and higher expectations, CMOs are being asked to do more with the customers they already have. And with most future growth expected to come from existing customers, even as net revenue retention is trending downward, the pressure is on right now to improve loyalty and keep the customers you've earned. And that shift means marketers now play a bigger role than beyond acquisition. And doing that requires a lot. But most importantly, you need to have a unified view of the customer experience. And that pressure, it's building right now. Marketing teams need to move faster. They need stronger data. That way they can engage the customers in ways that drive retention. And this is where marketers are being asked to step up. But we can't step up if we're stuck in yesterday's systems. Even though marketing plays a larger role in the customer experience, too many teams are still working in silos. And without that alignment across sales and service, the experience breaks down. The customers feel that. Manual campaign execution, that makes it even harder because these processes are just simply too heavy and too slow to keep pace with the customer expectations. And when everything is built from scratch, well, there's no time to respond. And by the time campaign is live, then you may have missed that moment. And that's why teams right now, they're even saying it could take days, weeks to get one email out the door, and that's just not going to cut it, right? Teams are already stretched thin. It's hard to scale. And without automation or support, it becomes impossible to grow engagement without growing your headcount. And that creates a ceiling on impact. So that's why marketing, they're turning to things like AI and Agentforce, for example. That way they can scale their execution, right? And at the center of it all, the most important piece for any of this to work and thrive is data. Without real-time visibility into product usage, account behavior, or let's say support history, if you don't have that unified source, what's it gonna offer you, right? And so most marketers still lack their confidence to even integrate the customer data that they have across the business. So let's move on. I spent a lot of time there. But these challenges, they're leading to foundational breakdowns, right? And it's specifically around how teams are working and engaging. And this isn't a campaign problem. It truly is a systems problem, right? Marketing needs a smarter, scalable system, one that brings together the right data and makes it available when and where it's needed. That way, teams have a complete view of the customer, one that removes manual bottlenecks, so marketers don't have to build every campaign, from scratch at least, and can instead respond to what's happening in real time. They need one that supports consistent engagement across every channel, so customers experience your brand as one connected conversation, and not a series of disconnected messages. It's not about adding another tool, everybody. Listen, you need a smarter, connected platform, one that helps them scale engagement and retention with speed, precision, and impact, and embrace a workforce without limits. And with Salesforce for Tech, you can do just that, right? We can help you unify that data that matters. Data Cloud allows you to pull together all those things like product usage, support history, account behavior, all into a real-time, unified customer profile. And your teams are able to act on that, right? Then Agentforce comes in, allowing you to automate execution, respond in real time, And it can trigger follow-ups, right? After, let's say, product activity. Suppress messages when a support case is open. Let's see, personalized onboarding journeys. And I got to keep my mic here. Sorry, I keep throwing it. But yeah, so they got to re-engage, right? Maybe there's a dormant user that Agentforce can tap. But listen, it's not just about efficiency, but it's about embedding automation into your flows. That way you can free up teams to focus on high value work. And it creates relevant real-time experiences across both marketing and service. And that's how you go from, let's say, one-time touch points to long-term loyalty. Now, let's take a quick look here at kind of how this would work in action. Imagine a new customer signs up for your product, but within a week, usage signals, they show that they haven't adopted a key feature, and maybe that's tied to long-term value. So instead of waiting for that customer to churn, Agentforce swoops in, sends a personalized WhatsApp message, proactively offering support, education, or even a targeted promotion to boost engagement. And here's the best part. None of this requires like new infrastructure, right, or a ton of work. Agentforce plugs into the flows that you've already built, working behind the scenes to drive efficiency and speed. It extends your capacity to keep engagement moving automatically, guiding adoption, servicing upsell opportunities when the timing is right. And that's just one way tech companies are boosting engagement and driving scalable retention. But now I'd like to bring that to life with a real story. And to do that, I'd like to invite up Head of Growth and Retention at iFood, Chris Sider.
Thank you, Chandler, and good morning, everyone. I'm really glad to be here today. Let me start by giving you a little context. So if you don't know who iFood is, we are the largest food delivery company in Brazil. We could compare ourselves to Uber Eats or DoorDash here in Chicago. I don't know how big they are here, but I can tell you how big we are in Brazil. Just to give you an idea of our scale and popularity, we have over 380K restaurant partners. We do more than 120 million orders per month. We are present in 1,500 cities across Brazil. We have more than 55 million users per month. We represent 0.55% of the national GDP, so that's really nice for Brazil. And we've been voted the most loved brand in Brazil for the third consecutive time. This means, am I speaking?
Yeah, it's weird you can't hear yourself, but yeah, you're good.
We've been named the third most loved brand. We've beaten Coca-Cola and Havaianas, that flip-flop brand, for 3 years, so that's huge. And let me dive a little deeper into our history. We started up in 2011. In those first years, growth was steady but not remarkable. Things took off around 2015, also the year I joined iFood. And the year that we got bigger investments and awareness campaigns, TV campaigns, we were making ourselves known to the market. Things really took off around 2018. And COVID pandemic increased a lot of our demand. But even with pandemic thankfully over, we still keep growing really fast. You can see a exponential growth here. And you might think, how do we keep doing this? How is it possible? When you see a startup, it's okay to see a really exponential growth, but when you see a 120 million orders per month company, how do we keep growing like that?
The green button will go to the next.
Okay, thank you. And the answer is simple. We are growing that fast because we're building growth beyond delivery. If you look at the main red part, is our core. So if we were solely relying on our core service, we will be growing, of course, but not that much. It's going up, but yeah. What we did is we diversified our products for our restaurant. So we started with logistics. We have full service. We have dedicated fleet. We have on-demand, and that increased a lot. This is the pink part here. Then we grew to groceries. So prior to that, we only had restaurants in our base. Now we have restaurants, supermarkets, and nowadays we have pharmacies. And we also, I don't know, I was thinking about this ahead. Pet shops is a word in English. It's like the shop where you buy things for your dog and cats. It just sounded weird, you know. So now you can order anything in iFood, not just food. Um, that's the black part in there, black, purple. Then we have payments. We have digital bank accounts. We have unsecured credit. We have a lot of credit cards. So a lot of benefits for our restaurants. We have Anotai, which is our AI order taking service. And it's not here in my slide, but we also have a lineup of growth tools to help the partner perform better. So ads, visibility, free delivery, promotions, it's all there. And that's why we keep growing that much. And you might wonder, why are you telling me all of this? I'm here to listen about Agentforce and things like that. That's because the graph below, it's beautiful. It drives a lot of profit and revenue, but it also creates a lot of complexity. And with that complexity, we have a lot of chaos. So
Yeah, curious, Chris. You just laid out, like, looking at this, I can imagine there's a lot of intense challenges. So, like, what sparked you to rethink how iFood was approaching or managing their customer and partner experience?
yeah, just to give you a little context prior to that, imagine iFood as a 7,000 employees company. So this is only the B2B part. We also have B2C. But each of those areas here in the map are different growth teams and marketing teams, and they're focused on talking with the same restaurant. So imagine yourselves in the shoes of the restaurant. You're receiving a lot of messages from different business units, different products you don't even know existed, and it's really confusing. So we did a research with our restaurants, and 51% of them said our CRM messages were unhelpful and unrelated with their business needs, and that was the first part. You know, we saw we were harming our restaurant experience, and not only that, we saw that results weren't being incremental, so our investment wasn't efficient. And I can split my answer here in three key pain points. First of all, when you were presenting earlier, that slide about silos and things, we got it all, you know? It's 10 and 10. So I'll begin with data integration. We had a lot of gaps between business units and CRM tools, blocking automation and smart communication. That point two here, excessive volume, is a consequence of point one, because without this data integration, we couldn't use intelligence to segment. And in iFood, we have really aggressive goals. So imagine each of those areas in the map trying harder and harder to reach their goals. And we had this every penny counts mindset. Like, if I do a email marketing for 2,000 people and one converts, it's like, okay, it's a win. And it's not a win. We're harming a restaurant experience. So we had a lot of volume. I'm talking about 40 million campaigns per month volume. So it's really, really a lot. Active users, restaurants, could receive up to 6 messages a day from different subjects to different areas, everything. So it was really confusing. And on top of that, we had a really manual operation. So we relied on 800 CSV files every month to have our campaigns done. That led to a lot of inefficiency and constant errors. I'm not even beginning with LGPD here. It was also really wrong. So,
Wow. Here, I want to get to this slide because I'd like to ask, like, okay, you have the unified data, but like, what was the strategy around that, specifically about unifying that data
okay.
you have?
Once we were in this scenario, we knew we had to improve it. We started with a 360 view on our partners, so get all those data from different business units, and we built a single profile, so lead profile, partner profile, persona profile, so we can track all the products that the restaurant already has and what are the projects he's eligible to. That way we can target our campaigns better. We also did a lot of improvements in our operations. So we developed a saturation intelligence to exclude unengaged audiences. It's a propensity model built inside. We have a lot of governance rules. Jules here, it's the leader from this team. We implemented universal control groups because when we're talking about control groups, we had it, but as we had a lot of messages and volume, when a single area was doing a control group and the other one wasn't respecting it, it can't be trusted, you know? So we did it for a single group. They can't receive any messages, so we can measure better what is the incrementality. And on top of that, we have data cloud implementation. This is still ongoing, so until March next year, we'll have 65% of our campaigns running through data cloud. And we also built propensity models for smarter cross-sell offers, so we can see which restaurants are more propense to buy credit than logistics, for instance, and we can prioritize it on our CRM campaigns.
That's great. Okay, I got to ask. I see a little Agentforce logo here on the screen. Talk to me a little bit. How are y'all using that, and what's been the biggest benefit through this strategy process?
Great. We have Agentforce helping us with the sales part mainly. So we use it to warm up cold leads before we send it to the executive team or representative team. Sorry. We also have some projects using it to improve our commercial team route when they're visiting a restaurant, and to give him information on the restaurant once they're there. And we're also beginning tests with the setup. So when the restaurant hires iFood, we use Agentforce to help him set up his menu or price range, things like that. But I'll confess, Agentforce here is still in the early stages, so I hope to bring a lot of results next year. But I can tell you how the results that we already had with that data strategy, that's mixing it all. Agentforce is helping us along the way, but in the future, even more.
I love that. All right, so I'd love to hear a little bit more about the results you guys have had so far.
We got a 76% reduction in hiring errors. We removed 2 million duplicated contacts, so we're not talking with unrelated restaurants anymore. We saved 700K Brazilian reais. This is around $100K. Spent on unengaged restaurants. Our conversion rates grew by 170%. I won't go through all of this, but we're seeing awesome results, and we're really excited about the future.
Love that. Okay, so talk to us. What's next?
A quick recap here on our journey with Salesforce. So we started with a single product, low maturity. We used Salesforce as a tool. We used to use Salesforce and other CRM tools. Then we centralized the operation in Salesforce, and we entered that growth era. That was awesome, but it led to multi-product chaos. Then we moved to structured growth. That was what was I? Sorry. What I was saying. We're using data to make more intelligent decisions on our strategies. But if I can confess it here, we use data to improve our campaigns, but we still have a lot of things coming up. So we have a lot of new M&As and products. So we keep, it's a constant need to improve and update our data. And we do Agentforce things, but it's still on a co-pilot way. And it's doing simple stuff. Our goal is to have it do tough decisions and tough processes. And for that to happen, we need to feed Agentforce better. So data is still our main goal here. So we can move to smart growth era. And I really hope next year I have awesome results on that.
I mean, you
smart
guys are
growth
taking
field.
all the right steps. Like you said, data at your platform and your base, your foundation is everything, and you're proving that. You're doing all the right things, and looking forward to seeing and hearing more from you guys and your success.
Thank you. Thank you so much for Thank you so much for being here. And I'm glad to answer any questions outside here because we don't have any time left.
If you guys would like, we do have our AI and agent guide for tech. We have use cases for the industry. So if you'd like to give that a scan. Otherwise, thank you all for coming today and spending some time with us. And give it up for Chris.
Woo.